What's up, guys? So on my last video, I told you about my experience flying during coronavirus. Well, today let me tell you my experience actually at the island and how the coronavirus has affected greatly this island that lives off tourism. Let's go. All right, so I told you about my experience flying during coronavirus from Santiago de Compostela to Palma, Mallorca, and how different and weird it was. Well, it got weirder once we landed into the island itself. You see, a lot of places would have been packed with tourism. Packed with tourists. I mean, millions of tourists visited this island before coronavirus. But now the coronavirus has hit that island, or pretty much all over the world, it has dropped significantly the amount of people that traveled to the island. Not only that, but before we traveled to the island, there was basically a ban from different countries saying that you cannot come to Spain, because if you did travel to Spain and you went back home, they were going to put you in quarantine. So a lot of people from Germany, from France, from England, Italy, from a bunch of places were banned to travel from their country to Spain, especially to the island of Mallorca or Spain in general. So a lot of people canceled their trip and they canceled their bookings on the hotels. And so a lot of hotels were forced to close down. Actually, the first hotel we booked called us and say, hey, we're going to cancel your booking. We're going to refund you the full amount because we are closing as of August 30th. We were arriving there on September 5th. So we would have to look for another hotel. Thankfully, we found a hotel that was still open for the season. This hotel is called Hotel Las Arenas, which I totally recommend. If you guys ever visit the island of Mallorca, stay at this hotel. I am not being paid by them by any chance, by any way at all, but I do want to give a shout out to them because they made the vacation an amazing place to stay at. So first of all, let me explain to you guys. When you first arrive at that hotel, there is a machine that basically reads you and reads your temperature. That's right. There's a machine at the hotel, but not at the airport. Weird, right? But anyways, there's a machine that reads your temperature and it turns green to let you know you're good. And there's an antibacterial gel dispenser right next to it so you can use it. And you walk up and you talk to the receptionist. Now, this hotel was well kept. The staff was friendly. The food was great. You could totally see that they were trying their hardest and their best to keep up with all the measurements to maintain the place a safe and friendly and clean environment. The lobby was great. You could see that there was antibacterial gel dispensers at the exit of every elevator, every entrance, at the lobby. It was an impeccable place, and it was right in front of the beach. I mean, you could totally see the view from the hotel room itself. The beach was right there, like steps away. So in my point of view, a totally worth the place to stay at. So if you ever are in Mallorca, stay in Hotel Las Arenas. Anyways, back to the whole island itself. You see, the island of Mallorca, this Palma, Mallorca, lives off tourism. So obviously, if tourists visit the island, it generates income and people can live off that throughout the winter when there's no tourism. Well, that didn't happen this year because of the coronavirus. A lot of people didn't come to the island, so a lot of people were pretty much closed down. I mean, you could see hotels closed down, resorts closed down, a McDonald's and a Burger King were closed down. That's how, that's when you start thinking, like, my man, something going on. Because if a McDonald's and a Burger King is closed down, something is going on. Like, definitely you need to book it. People, the taxi driver was telling us that investors were leaving the island, companies were leaving the island, people that were thinking about buying a house are no longer going to invest in the island itself. And I mean, businesses were closed down, hotels were closed down. It looked almost like a ghost town. And you're probably looking at the images and you're thinking, my man, I see people. Well, yeah, those people at the beach, or those people you see walking around, some of them are tourists, a very few, some of them, but the rest is pretty much the people, the natives of the island itself. I mean, there was a taxi driver that told us that he does a route from 4 a.m. to 2 p.m. And we were the only people that he had taken the whole day. And I was just, baffled by the fact that they were explaining that every single year they expect millions and millions of tourists. And this year they probably got thousands, maybe close to 1 million visitors. And that's nothing. And the hotel that we stayed at, they were actually thinking about closing as of September 14th. And the businesses close by that, by the hotel, they were thinking about closing also because obviously if there's nobody staying at the hotel, there's no point for them to stay open. And I mean, don't take it wrong. I enjoyed the fact that there was not a lot of people at the island because prices in the hotel were a lot cheaper. Prices at, to the flights were a lot cheaper. And also the beaches were not that packed, so we could enjoy them more with our kids. And there was not a lot of people around us. So it was more enjoyable in a way. So that was the pro, I guess. But the con is obviously people live off that. So if there's no money coming in, then they're pretty much, I'm not saying they're going to starve, but I mean, it probably looks like that because people were complaining a lot by it. So it was a ghost town. I mean, you guys, I've never seen so many. I mean, aside from when we were quarantined and we were actually locked into our houses and we saw businesses closed, aside from that, now that we're actually back to our new normal life, like the nueva normalidad, as the government calls it, I thought more places were going to be open, but it looked like we were back in quarantine. Everything was closed. Everything was, it was just weird. It was, for me, you guys, it was a really weird experience seeing that, seeing how people were complaining about not a lot of tourists, people complaining about the government not doing much to help them out or anything. So overall, my experience in the island was great when it came to vacationing or spending time with my family. But when it came to seeing how greatly coronavirus has impacted the island with tourists, dropping down tourism, it was bad. I mean, I was just like, I felt bad for the people, and I mean, we were leaving tips to the waiters, to the people cleaning our rooms, to the people and the staff, at the reception, because we felt bad for them. We were like, people were like, why did you travel, during this coronavirus? But in a way, I'm like, I'm thankful that I traveled, because in a way, my money investing into the hotel or into the flights gave a job to that person that was probably jobless before and was living off unemployment. And I mean, there's pros and cons. I felt good on that point of view because we contributed to the community, to the economy and the island. So I feel good. I mean, this is what it is. But anyways, you guys, let me know how coronavirus has impacted greatly your community, your state, your country, your family, your company, wherever, your life in general. Let me know in the comments how it has greatly affected it. I know here in Spain, it's great. I mean, not just Spain, but the whole world itself, coronavirus has made a huge impact. But I mean, it is what it is. We got to, go with the punches and just see what happens. And hopefully there's a vaccine, or hopefully this whole thing can, go away soon and we can go back to our normal lives and enjoy life without a face mask, because it gets stressful. Anyways, you guys, I will be putting up a video here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So today is Monday. I will see you Wednesday. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. And I will see you guys again Wednesday.